Hi, this is Deadman. If you're watching this video, I assume you're old enough to see gore, violence, swearing, and general adult content. If you aren't old enough, come back with some ID.
Or a fake one.
Ugh.
No! My heart belongs to me! Sora. You're lucky. Looks like my summer vacation is over.
Dearly Beloved is always a win. Still loving that initial title card that comes with the numbered titles.
A scattered dream that's like a far-off memory. A far-off memory that's like a scattered dream. I want to line the pieces up. Yours and mine.
Also loving the poetry showing up. Remember how I said Kingdom Hearts 1 had one of the most iconic openings? Yeah, that applies doubly for Kingdom Hearts 2. Plus, we even get a new song, Sanctuary. Not only is the whole thing, again, like an epic anime opening, there's even scenes to throw at people who scoffed at playing Chain of Memories. See, it's always important to never skip parts of a story. The dark margin has always been darkly beautiful.
Whoa! Give me a break, guy.
So, if you paid attention to the last two games, this wouldn't be as confusing, but if you jump straight from Kingdom Hearts 1 to 2, yeah, I can see why it was a complaint for the longest time about system jumping. What we're seeing is the restoration of Sora's memories, and since it was eliminated, they just need to keep Roxas still long enough to restore those memories completely. It also acts as a previously on segment.
Another dream about him.
It's pretty neat that Roxas is in a data version of Twilight Town, and since he's there to complete Sora, his dreams are essentially footage of Sora's exploits. Actually, come to think of it, this entire town has a Matrix feel to it, especially since Roxas is downloaded to Sora at the end of the week. I also really love that Roxas' segment of the story is just a really long tutorial.
Oh no! They're gone! Are gone! What? All are gone? Huh? Huh? Huh?
You can't say, why not?
But you do understand what I'm saying, right? Are gone. Stolen. And not just the word. They stole it too.
So, not only does the game start off with an entirely new cast to confuse you, but apparently words can get stolen.
Huh?
His heart is returning. Doubtless he'll awaken very soon.
Add that to the confusion pile.
I guess if you get on your knees and beg, maybe I'll let it slide. Roxas!
Aha! It was a ruse! As with the first Kingdom Hearts, you can specialize in attack, magic, or defense.
Whoa!
Well, that's new. Okay, so with that, and the general way the Nobodies move, they are definitely on a different scale of creepy than the Heartless.
What? Wouldn't it be weird if the thief wanted to steal the real Roxas or something?
Well, Pence, you aren't that far off.
Restoration at 12%.
This is a cool visual way of adding some mystery as to what's going on, and as an added bonus, tells you roughly how much of the prologue you're finished with.
Organization miscreants. They found us.
Christopher Lee is always a win.
Well, I doubt we could be together forever. But isn't that what growing up's all about? What's important isn't how often we see each other, but how often we think about each other. Right?
I was a teenager when this game originally came out, and that message hits hard, and I still carry it with me to this day. Just because you don't hang out all the time anymore doesn't make them any less your friend. Yes! We got mini-maps now!
It would be nice if we could see the full map, though.
Yes, but a win is a win, damn it! Doing these minigames is a great story reason on why you're playing them, since who wouldn't want to make extra money to go to the beach? Also, the minigames are admittedly really fun. Thanks to this game, I discovered a love for sea salt ice cream, and it's great.
And this? We can always buy some sea salt ice cream.
Diz is a dick to children.
Wait, how is that a win, and why are you giving them out?
Because fuck them kids.
But why? What's wrong with the Twilight Town gang?
Nothing at all. I'm just a firm believer in Schadenfreude.
You're a giant thorn straight up in my ass, you know that?
I'm aware. Now ask me if I care.
Ugh. That's a hell of a way to transition to the iconic Station of Awakening. I love the stained glass bridge that connects the two Stations of Awakenings. Stations of Awakening? Whatever the plural of that is. We get an amazing homage to the intro of Kingdom Hearts, only this time it's Giant Nobody, the Twilight Thorn. The reaction commands are on full force in these boss fights, and wow, does the Twilight Thorn completely encapsulate the erratic movements of the Nobodies. This time, instead of just bullet time, we get some action shots of us finishing off the boss.
Do you remember your true name?
Say no more, nominee.
But if no one tells him, Roxas will...
It's best he doesn't know the truth.
More evidence of Riku just wanting to save Sora at any cost. It's also funny to think that Riku knows exactly who Roxas is, but Roxas has no idea what's going on.
Hey, you're that pickpocket! Whoa!
It's a very small role, but I love that Setzer from Final Fantasy VI was included.
The summa cum laude of struggle, the 4 crystal trophy!
Is this a Final Fantasy I reference? I feel like this is a Final Fantasy I reference. The struggle battles are neat, as it's regular combat, but with squishy bats you can knock orbs out of them. The way they made it in the manga is hilarious, with them strapping gear and the orbs on the players.
I lost. Oh, I can't believe it. I guess I taught you well.
I had a lot of fun fighting you.
Now that's what I call good friendship. Neither of them cares who wins, so long as they take home the cup. Nag! Brown pants! Well, that explains a little why Vivi was acting strange. I mean, other than being trapped in the Matrix.
Roxas! Alright. Fight, fight, fight.
Of course, the first lines out of Axel's mouth in the game equates him to the sassy bitch he is. Also, Axel's a win.
Roxas!
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 Roxas! Roxas!
Painter! Pence! Olette!
You know, I really do feel bad for Roxas. He just wanted to be his own person and is getting fought over by both factions.
What? What just happened?
Huh? How did I get here?
Poor Vivi. He got ganked and he didn't even realize it.
Hey,
Rucksack, how about you throw the match for me?
Roxas! Focus!
Let me win, and I'll make it worth your while.
For how little he's in the game, they got Setzer's characterization down. He's a gambler by nature, so of course he's going to see if he can win through coercion rather than force.
My life is a chip in your pie. Time to ante up.
He even gets to say his catchphrase! That's a genuinely sweet moment between Roxas and his friends. When one of them wins, they all win. It's a terrible shame none of it's real, though.
Whoa.
That is why you don't have your hangout on the top of a clock tower.
Shouldn't that be a negative?
You stay out of this!
What other boy? The one who was with Riku and me all the time. We played together on that island. His voice always used to be there, and now it's gone. I can't think of his face or his name. I feel awful about it. So I told myself, I'm not going to the island until I remember everything about him.
That's a nice callback to Chain of Memories when Naminé says the links aren't gone, just out of place. Meaning Sora isn't completely erased from everyone's memories, especially those he was close to.
What about his mother?
Oh no, his dinner must be really cold by now.
Naminé?
Some foreshadowing for Naminé being Kairi's nobody.
Kairi, I know you. You're that girl he likes.
Who? Please, a name.
I'm Roxas.
Okay, Roxas. But can you tell me his name?
You don't remember my name? Thanks a lot, Kairi.
Huh?
Okay, I guess I can give you a hint. Starts with an S.
What's that? A letter. I wrote it yesterday. To the boy I can't remember. I said that no matter where he is, I'll find him. One day. And when I stopped writing, I remembered we made a promise. Something important. This letter is where it starts, I know it. Wow. I hope he gets it. He will. Starts with an S. Right? Sora?
The whole Roxas section feels like a mystery novel being unraveled. Except we have the answers and are waiting for the characters to catch up. Kairi looks so happy she remembers Sora's name, and it's proof that Naminé is almost done restoring him. Also, Selphie's reaction in the manga is hilarious.
Naminé. She's a wonder.
She wasn't born like other nobodies. She can interfere with the hearts and memories of Sora and those aligned with him.
But whose nobody is she?
Naminé was born when Sora turned himself into a Heartless. Since Kairi's heart was inside Sora at the time, it technically spawned her nobody too. But, like Diz said, she wasn't born normally, so she's not a regular nobody.
Perhaps you could tell me your true name.
It's Ansem.
It's an honor, Ansem.
See, it's funny because he's Ansem. Also, in case you forgot, the reason Riku looks like this is he unleashed all the darkness in his heart to subdue Roxas and save Sora. Wow, Riku sure is a true friend. Organization 13's theme is perfectly fitting for them, being melancholy and a bit muted considering they have no hearts. I also love the room where nothing gathers because of its strange seating arrangement. All of the chairs shift according to performance within the organization, but none are higher than the superior of the in-between.
No way! It's too soon! You can't seriously get rid of him!
It's an order. Why do you hesitate? You who has been ruthless towards those who turn their backs on the organization.
But it's not like that. He didn't betray us. He can't come back.
If he doesn't return, you know what you must do. Or you will face the consequences.
Axel having to betray his friend to fulfill his role in the organization is a hard sell for him, and explains why he's on the run from the organization later on. This is one of those neat scenes added in the final mix version that gives some additional context. Axel is a badass. Also, great attention to detail with that lance severing several strands of hair.
So you'll turn me into a dusk. All right, I'll do it, if that's what you want.
Xemnas' method of coercion is so great, he never even has to say a word.
Aren't these the steps you talked about? The ones that count different going up and down?
Actually, it's the stupidest thing ever, but...
What?
Rye's the one who counted. He's like, every time I count, it's different, you know?
So, he just counted wrong?
Most of the wonders of Twilight Town are Matrix glitches, but this one is legitimately hilarious.
Dodge, duck, dip, dive, and dodge.
Ocarina of Time reference.
How?
Well, you have a dark doppelganger coming out of the water.
Seems like a stretch.
You seem like a stretch.
You know, that last wonder wasn't exactly wonderful.
7 wonders? More like 7 blunders, am I right?
Get out.
Yeah, okay.
Wait, shit, that means I have to do the positive crap now. Get back in here, I'm not going through that again.
Let's go home and work on the paper.
The rumors were bogus. The end.
We can still make it sound good if we write about all the work we did.
Hayner is right, but never doubt the power of fancying up your resume. Report.
What do you know about me that I don't?
You were never supposed to exist, Roxas.
This absolutely doesn't help Roxas's existential crisis, even if he doesn't remember any of it.
All worlds begin in darkness, and all so end. The heart is no different. You see, darkness is the heart's true essence.
So, don't get me wrong, I love Richard Epcar as Ansem. He does a fantastic job. But there's just something missing from the performance that I loved with Billy Zane. At any rate, we still have an imposing villain voice, so I can't complain too much. As Sora's memories are almost fully restored, this is a really cool shot representing Roxas feeling less like himself and more like Sora's nobody.
Man, I could not sleep last night. Guys? Huh?
Since his time is close to an end, there's no reason to continue the facade of him being a normal boy. Oof, being out of the picture with his friends is a huge blow. The lack of overworld music ramps up the tension even further.
Look at what it's come to. I've been given these icky orders to destroy you if you refuse to come back with me.
We're best friends, right?
Sure, but I'm not getting turned into a dusk for... Wait a sec. You remember now?
Yeah.
Great! But, you know, gotta make sure and all, so, what's our boss's name? Oh, Can't believe this.
I feel bad for Axel. He's been made to do all the eliminations, and now he has to get rid of Roxas. It's made even worse by having a small sliver of hope that he may not have to eliminate Roxas.
The Roxas that I know is long gone. Fine. I see how it is.
You can actually pinpoint the second when his heart rips in half.
Don't call me and then lock me out.
That's a neat tutorial for Roxas. Riku to the rescue. It's a nice touch of mystery for those that are still confused or in the dark about the twist with Ansem wielding the Soul Eater.
Organization 13. They're a bad group.
Bad or good? I don't know.
Oh, trust me, they're bad. Like, ending the whole universe bad.
They're a group of incomplete people who wish to be whole. To that end, they're desperately searching for something.
What?
Kingdom Hearts.
But most of the members were lied to, so you can't fault them completely.
There's no knowledge that has the power to change your fate.
Diz is a dick, but that line is raw as fuck.
Even if it doesn't, I want to know. I have the right to know.
A nobody doesn't have a right to know. Nor does it even have the right to be.
Rude.
Roxas, we will meet again. And then we can talk about everything. I may not know it's you, and you may not know it's me. But we will meet again. Someday soon. I promise.
Foreshadowing for Roxas and Naminé fusing with their son buddies.
If we can maintain the simulated town until Naminé finishes chaining together Sora's memories.
That's a title call.
Wrong game, dummy.
Aw. Can I still play the clip?
No.
Man, you ever get so pissed at someone you gotta destroy their rig? Come on, man, I know Diz sucks, but the PC did nothing wrong. No shit, dude.
Simply amazing, Roxas.
Axel.
You really do remember me this time. I'm so flattered! But you're too late!
I know I've harped on it, but the hurt in his voice is amplified by his resolve to carry out his mission. He loves his friend dearly, but he feels he's gone and would rather not risk getting turned into a dusk. Thus spawned one of the greatest things to come out of this game. Dual-wielding Keyblades! Also, Axel's shock is because he didn't see Roxas after the Tears chapter when he gained that ability from absorbing. Also, when Roxas gets absorbed back into Sora, that's what gives him the dual-wield ability while using most of the dry forms. Such a cool arena to fight in, and with your health slowly decreasing from the heat, it does put a little anxiety on the fight. Also, damn, look at those sweet moves. I hope you're ready for me to showcase these reaction commands, because I'm gonna showcase the reaction commands.
You get on their bad side and they'll destroy you!
No one would miss me.
That's not true. I would.
This scene is so much more sad after going through this prologue and being ordered to murk his best friend. Ugh, my feels!
Silly. Just because you have a next life.
So, Axel doesn't die here, even though it appears he does, which furthers my point on him being a drama queen.
I am a servant of the world. And if I'm a servant, then you should consider yourself a tool at best.
That's cold, but hilarious.
My apologies. This is only a data-based projection.
Roxas is so pissed he doesn't even care that Diz isn't there. It's bound to be a little cathartic at least.
I hate you so much.
You should share some of that hatred with Sora. He's far too nice for his own good.
Pointing out character flaws?
Looks like my summer vacation is over.
That line is always a sucker punch for tragedy, but damn if that wasn't an awesome transition to a very delayed title card. A nice visual detail showing time has passed is Sora's clothes are noticeably smaller on him.
Donald! Goofy!
That's adorable.
Where's Sora, Donald, and Goofy?
One thing that does get a little grating after a while is hearing Sora, Donald, and Goofy so many times through the course of the campaign.
King Mickey is a badass.
Well, I'm gonna go look for Riku. Then he and I can go back to the islands together.
Spoilers.
Hey, Sora? You sure we haven't met before?
Positive. Why do you ask?
I don't know.
You okay?
Yeah. Don't know where it came from.
Pull it together.
Man, that hits you in the feels. Roxas clearly has a presence in Sora's heart, and even if it was only a few days, his feelings are crying out for his friends. There's some more evidence that nobodies have no hearts might not be that accurate.
There goes our ride.
Word is he's a real powerful sorcerer, which would make him the perfect bodyguard for me. See, it don't matter how tough he is. Once he's a Heartless, he'll do as I say.
Heartless?
That's right. They're those things that come out of the darkness in folks' hearts. Why, with all those Heartless at her side, my dear friend Maleficent is gonna conquer everything. And since I got me a debt to pay, I'm going round to a bunch of different worlds and building an army of Heartless, special for her.
Pete is the worst at keeping secrets, and that's hilarious.
Pete's been causing trouble for ages. His Majesty banished him to another dimension a long time ago.
You ever cause so much trouble you get banished to another dimension? King Mickey is not a merciful ruler. He's a bloodthirsty tyrant.
Well, Maleficent busted me out, that's how. And now your world, no, all the worlds are gonna belong to yours truly. 'Cause Maleficent's gonna help me conquer them.
Pete's so delusional, it's almost sad.
Kids haven't changed one bit.
You shut your beak, there's plenty that's changed.
So, the worlds aren't at peace after all?
That's a depressing thought, thinking you've made everything whole again, only to wake up a year later with things just as bad as before.
Master Yensid, it's an honor.
Hey there.
Sora, show some respect.
I love how Donald and Goofy have the utmost respect for Yen Sid, and Sora's just being a goofball who knows nothing. Also, I love that the highest tier of master that's alive currently is Yen Sid, Mr. Disney Backwards from The Sorcerer's Apprentice, short of Fantasia.
However, everything in your journey, Sora, is connected.
That's basically the tagline for the series.
Okay.
I do love the flourish used to open larger chests.
But wait a sec. How come the Heartless are still running around?
Your past endeavors did prevent an immense effusion of Heartless from the Great Darkness. Make no mistake about that. However, the Heartless are darkness made real, and darkness yet lingers in every heart. The Heartless are fewer, but while darkness exists in a single heart, it will be difficult to eliminate them.
That's a pretty great explanation of why the Heartless are still around. Our original goal was just to stop Ansem from consuming all worlds and sending them to darkness, not to stop the Heartless completely.
Now, it is time to speak of the enemies that you will encounter.
I knew I couldn't trust that damn duck!
At times, if someone with a strong heart and will, be they evil or good, becomes a Heartless, the empty shell they leave behind begins to act with a will of its own.
It's pretty great. We get an immediate breakdown of our enemies, as well as finding out how nobodies are born.
For you see, nobodies do not truly exist at all. Nobodies may seem to have feelings, but this is a ruse. They only pretend to have hearts.
Each of these mirrors foreshadows your different drive forms, and I always thought that was cool.
No, that will never do. Oh, now, dears. But don't you like this better? Hold on. Are you certain? Blue.
That's a hilarious homage to Sleeping Beauty, down to Diablo watching them.
Oh my. Oh, it's lovely. Oh yes, he does look very dashing.
Every girl crazy about his shine as me.
Whoa! Whoa!
Oh yeah, all the drive forms are a definite win. You get a boost of power, and each form plays differently from each other. On top of increasing your stats, each Keyblade now has a more concise ability attached to it.
No, we mustn't remember her name. Oh dear. She was a mean old witch. Oh no, the memories are coming back.
Maleficent just decided that if you remember her, she poofs back into existence, and I find that hilarious. Moogle! It's actually really nice seeing Hollow Bastion partially restored, and have people living there, now that Maleficent has been cleared out. That also makes a pretty great hub world. As per usual, the world logo showing up at the start is great, and since this is the sequel where development would be a bit smoother, the logos pop even more than before.
Hey, what's going on?
That's the town's defense mechanism.
That's a pretty neat defense mechanism that actually helps you out in gameplay.
But I had a feeling I'd see you guys again.
We may never meet again, but we'll never forget each other.
Is that supposed to be Leon?
It's a pretty spot-on impression. Also, it's pretty cool to see your drive form carry over into the cutscenes. I love stuff like that.
A while back, everyone suddenly remembered you guys, all at the same time.
You remembered? Wait, does that mean you forgot about us?
That gives us some insight into what it was like for everyone that knew Sora and the gang. Also, Sora's reaction is great.
So where have you guys been all this time?
We were sleeping.
Where? In cold storage?
As per usual, I love how the series continually has different reasons for why Sora doesn't have his old abilities.
Look at that.
Oh,
that's a lot of Heartless. It's gonna be pretty cool if we have a battle with a bunch of Heartless later on. It's a small thing, but I do like the addition of the message at the top to help guide you to your next objective.
There!
At the samurai-inspired music, sting, and actions are win-worthy.
The Keyblade, a truly marvelous weapon.
It really is. It's one of the most creative things I've ever seen. The meeting of the remaining organization members still remains one of the coolest scenes in Kingdom Hearts. Also, I do love how the members aren't copy and pasted, but they have different builds and slightly different cloaks because of it.
That's right! He used to give me that same exact look.
You would think he's talking about Roxas, but, just like in 358 over 2 days, he's talking about Ventus. I mean, he is talking about Roxas, but he's also talking about Ventus. Maybe people are right when they say the series is confusing.
Yeah, you're right. Only one me.
Well, kinda. Instead of sealing worlds up, you open new pathways to the new worlds. The gummy ship missions are a little more action-packed this time around, with shifting perspectives and actual stats you need to worry about. Holy hell, they had some balls putting the burning village in as the first thing you see.
Whatever, you're just scared, admit it.
Mushu's voice actor is distractingly not Eddie Murphy, but it is the voice actor for Mulan 2. Mark Mosley does a great job either way.
Do you know them?
Know them? Man, we used to kick all kinds of bad guy butt together. Yeah, you know I helped these guys out of a lot of tight spots.
This is true. Aside from Tinkerbell, Mushu is my most used summon because, well, he shoots fireballs really fast.
Mushu's one of my family's guardians.
We didn't know we were borrowing somebody as important as a family guardian.
Yeah, that's right. And that puts you three up to your eyeballs in debt to Ping here. Well, guess what, kiddies? It's payback time.
That's as good of a reason to accompany Ping.
You're pretending to be a boy, aren't you?
Huh? You're a girl?
You didn't notice?
Not me.
Leave it to Goofy, the only one who's yucked, to recognize Ping as a girl. I love the flames and smoke from the tents and explosions are stylized. Having this iconic shot replaced with the Heartless is both more and less terrifying at the same time.
Thanks, Ping.
It was nothing.
I should never have doubted you. From now on, you have my trust.
The bad thing about following a lot of the story beats from the movie is it turns great scenes into neutered garbage.
Okay, but you can't expect them to follow the scenes exactly. There's not the time or budget for it. Plus, it's already been told before, and there's only so much that could have been done at the time the game was made.
Exactly. If the scenes aren't going to follow the originals, there's no point in it, and a new scenario should be written. They've shown plenty of times they're capable of doing it, but for some reason, about half the worlds are half-assed OC insert fanfictions.
Damn, Neg, I didn't know you felt that strongly about it.
I do. This won't be the last time it gets brought up either.
Fighting Shan Yu while guarding the gates does, however, make for a fun boss battle. Okay, yeah. Fighting a possessed door that fist bumps before your imminent doom is pretty awesome. One small thing that's nice is Kingdom Hearts 2 did try to have a bunch of little stuff like this to break up the beat Heartless, go to cutscene, repeat formula.
It's time you dealt with Belle. She's scheming to take everything you have. This castle, your precious Rose, and then your life. Trust no one. Feed your anger. Only anger will keep you strong.
Zoltan trying to feed beasts insecurities is one certain way of getting a beast-sized Heartless.
I've had enough of strength. There's only one thing I want.
What? To love and be loved in return. Who could ever love a beast? See? She has accomplices.
Well, that's just bad timing on our part. When fighting bosses, or through key moments, you get bonuses like armor slots, more drive gauges, and the like. It's a nice addition that can fuel challenge runs, as well as not having key skills locked away until later levels.
Well, you brought everybody down here in that dungeon!
I know that's how Donald talks, but I'm so thankful there are subtitles.
He took all my sorrow, my sadness, my pain, and turned it all into rage. There was nothing I could do. I could no longer see the truth.
We'll all be. That must be why you threw all of your friends down there into the dungeon. You wanted to make sure that you didn't hurt them, right?
Was that it? Was it to protect them?
Sure. We know you're good inside.
Helping your friend not feel terrible about himself.
Get out!
Let's go!
Another wonderful feature added is doing limit attacks with your companions. Having to fight a giant possessor in the ballroom with it using the room to fight you is a phenomenal set piece. Once you beat the first phase possessor, it evolves into Darkthorn for an even more action-packed fight. The only thing that bothers me is there's a Darkthorn and a Twilightborn, but there's no light variant. I'm sure there's not a way to implement one, but it still bugs me.
My turn!
During certain fights, if you fall, King Mickey becomes a playable character.
When a strong-hearted person turns into a Heartless, a nobody is created too. See, the organization, they've got control of all the nobodies.
That's right. They were gonna make you into a Heartless. That way they could get that nobody of yours and have control over it.
Okay, but now I want to see that.
Oh, was it you who summoned us, Merlin?
Yes, but it seems I used too much power in doing so, and those infernal Heartless.
Sure, Merlin. You keep telling yourself that.
Hey, Pooh Bear, how you doing? Finding enough honey lately?
Oh, yes. In fact, I was just about to do my stoutness exercises. Would you like to join me, Sora?
Sure, I'm game.
Sora and Pooh are so stinking cute, I love it.
Huh?
Looks like there was a glitch in the 100 Acre Woods Matrix.
Hey!
Those bastards stole my book. Can't have shit in Hollow Bastion.
Think it's okay?
Gorge, maybe you better go back and make sure Pooh's all right.
But what about Brian?
Well, I guess we could explain.
Great.
Judging by how there are no pages in the book, I'd say no. Things aren't okay.
I'm so glad you're okay, Pooh.
And I'm glad you came to visit. But you see, I was just about to begin my stoutness exercises. Perhaps we could visit a bit later. Somebody I don't know.
Oh, sure. So, how's Piglet these days?
I don't think I know anyone by that name.
Oh. The Heartless damaging the book is way worse than we could have thought. Who doesn't remember me at all? But I suppose it is a fun way to introduce finding the pages again.
Huh? Are you sure this is the Coliseum?
It's that way.
Oh, guess we were a little off.
A nice contrast to Kingdom Hearts 1 is starting off in the underworld and actually getting to roam around rather than be stuck in the Coliseum itself.
We came to see how Hercules is doing.
You know Wonder Boy?
Yeah, because we're heroes too.
You mean Junior heroes, Donald?
No, Goofy, actual heroes. We didn't save the universe from an encroaching heartless invasion for nothing.
The puzzles are another fun addition to the Final Mix version of the game, with you needing to use your abilities to the fullest to get every puzzle piece, with some rewards for finishing it and getting to see some cool artwork.
Run away!
Okay.
Sora's confusion is priceless. The absent silhouettes are leftover remnants of the organization that was eliminated in Castle Oblivion, letting you fight the full roster of members. Auron is always a win.
Let's cut to the chase. Here's the deal I'm gonna offer you. I let you out of the slammer. No strings. You'll be free as a bird. And all for one little job. Fight Hercules in the Coliseum to the death.
This is my story, and you're not part of it.
Auron is always a win.
Did you forget who you're talking to? I am the Lord of the Dead!
Huh. No wonder no one wants to die.
Auron is always a win. The Keyblade being able to open all locks is a really cool feature of your oddly shaped sword. Also, why you never have to find any keys.
Hate to tell you, but that key is kinda particular. It won't work for just anybody, and that kid ain't no pushover.
Compliments?
You on another adventure?
Yeah, tracking down some friends, wiping out some Heartless.
You know, the normal stuff.
Victory in the games comes down to two simple words. Eat, bathe, sleep.
The joke that never stops being funny. Also, Goofy keeping count is hilarious.
Hades, we gotta talk.
You can't leave now. Okay, you've got a very important match today against, the bloodthirsty Hydra! I mean, if you don't stick around, who knows what kind of accidents might happen.
Yeah, accidents you cause.
Like I said, details. Who needs them?
Oh, he's gotta be the thief!
Now that's just plain rude.
He says while using a stolen amulet.
Nah, that's what I call a key. Gee, thanks for your help. Now have a nice day.
They played us like a damn fiddle!
Very well then. I suppose you'd best tell me what's happened during my absence.
Absence, huh? Is that what we're calling it?
There's a missed opportunity for Donald and Goofy to be in their court mage and King's Knight uniforms.
The overworld theme for Disney Castle has the same melody as the Mickey Mouse and his Friends show.
Let's go!
Escorting Queen Minnie isn't a drag because she's more than capable of defending herself.
Now you're gonna deal with me!
All in good time. Ah, Queen Minnie. Radiant as always.
Even when she's being the mistress of all evil, she observes proper etiquette. That cackle is amazing.
Magnificent Roxas sent over the whole castle in order. She filled the whole cornerstone with tiny bags and she couldn't fill it with gadgets. There's hardness in every part of the castle. The queen is in danger. What?
Perhaps I'd better just see for myself.
Hey, look! There's the cornerstone of light!
There are filters in place to make everything sound like it's from the Steamboat Willie days, and that's fantastic. Sora obviously has his own back-in-time style, but it's cool to see Donald and Goofy's original designs. I love the 4 major fighting locales, they're kinda ridiculous. You're on a scaffold, a tiny village, in front of a burning apartment, and Mickey's living room that for some reason has a black hole in it. Also, Mickey's just so happy you were there to help.
You absolute idiot. You've managed to fail at everything.
We get these first-person scenes of Pete right before hopping into Timeless River, and I gotta say, I actually feel bad for the guy. Sure, he's doing the wrong thing, but he's trying his hardest. He's still a butthole, though.
What have we here? Well, if it isn't the cornerstone of light. Now we can take the castle from those fools, but we'll have to proceed with the utmost of care.
Oh, look at that. Time travel. That's way ahead of schedule.
I finally found the pipsqueak what stole my steamboat.
Why? How was you?
Right, me. No, it wasn't me. I'm just somebody who looks like me.
Helping Pete get his boat back from, Pete certainly makes for an interesting boss fight, especially when you need to get back the Cornerstone of Light.
Who are you calling punks? It's Sora, Donald, and Goofy to you, and don't you forget it.
That we won't. And we'll engrave it on your tombstone, to be sure.
Damn, the pirates go hard.
Fighting the pirates is extremely annoying since they have to be in moonlight, and oftentimes you can't knock them out of moonlit areas.
He's a pirate, being the battle theme to Port Royal is most definitely a win.
Should make a fine pirate ship.
A pirate?
Sora is way too excited to be a pirate, and I love it. Doesn't look perfect, but it's pretty cool how they attempted to emulate the live-action movie, and give the world a more realistic style than the other cartoony worlds.
Let's go!
I don't care who you are, this is the best Gummy song, and it slaps hard!
Hey! Snap out of it, Donald!
I think Donald wants a Scrooge McDuck vault of his own.
Al! It's been eons! Al, you princely little muffin, you! Cosmic travel can get so lonely without a friend. To think I left you forlorn and genieless! Oh, the humanity!
Genie is always a win.
Hey, Al, have you been putting on weight? Oh, of course, what am I saying? You're living at the palace now!
Aladdin!
Jasmine!
Time for Plan B. I'm finishing you mugs off right now.
I thought Plan B was to run like a bitch.
Yep, okay. Plan B. Run like a bitch!
The Blizzard and Volcanic Lords are a fun boss fight. You even get to throw one of them at the other for some bonus damage, and their designs are pretty cool.
Catch him! He must have secretly stolen it from the Cave of Wonders.
I guess some things are just hard to resist.
I guess it got stuck. What?
Whoa! Who'd have thought that Abu and Donald's greed would end up being useful?
Who are you?
Axel. I happen to be an acquaintance of Sora's. Why don't we go see him?
No, Kyrie. Don't trust the bad man offering you candy.
We've got something in common, Kyrie. You and I both miss someone we care about.
Axel's plan is to kidnap Kyrie to use his leverage to heartlessify Sora, and I get it. He's told he has no emotions, but he can feel this void where his friend used to be, and he will do anything to get him back. I get it. I don't agree with what he's doing, but I get it. But at least she's safe in Twilight Town for now.
Sora, Donald, and Goofy! Welcome back! And Merry Christmas!
Okay, this is one of the few times I won't complain about reusing a movie story because The Nightmare Before Christmas is genuinely great.
A Halloween Town Christmas. Wanna go check it out?
It's the thought that counts, and I love that Sora's on board.
But Donald, Goofy, and I can get rid of them for you. And then we can go see Santa! But first, the Heartless!
Sora is so dang pure, he just wants to see Santa.
Christmas Town is this way. The doorway is in the woods just past the graveyard.
I'm actually very excited we got to see Christmas Town with this iteration of Halloween Town.
Here too?
On guard, loyal bodyguards!
I love that the final mix version of Sora, Donald, and Goofy got updated costumes for Christmas Town. Also added to Final Mix were Overworld and Battle Tracks for Christmas Town.
Wow! Well, hello everyone. Did you come to see if you're on my nice list? Your name?
Sora, sir.
Let's see. Sora. Here you are.
Sora is just so happy to be here.
Oh!
Well then, they certainly had the exit covered for a quick escape.
Do you remember Sora, Donald, and Goofy?
Do I remember them? Ah! You're too much! I'll never forget what they did to me. What was it they did to me?
Oogie having some memory problems after his resurrection by Maleficent will never not be funny. I'm mad at you, but I don't know why.
I do hope our jolly old friend is looking forward to becoming a Heartless. Oh, clumsy oaf!
Are you still here? Why don't you oogie on back where you came from? You're cramping my style!
Have you already forgotten who brought you back, you insolent bag of bugs?
Sorry, can't remember a thing.
Very well, you ingrate. You'll rue the day you spurned my help.
Maleficent is so dramatic, and I love it. As with before, you have to play a game with Oogie Boogie for this fight.
I believe there's a friend of yours who, if I recall correctly, was the one who told you there's no such thing as Santa Claus?
Oh yeah. He did say that.
Oh, that is it! All this talk of Riku developing his character, gone. I'm done. Betraying me is one thing, but telling me Santa Claus doesn't exist? Riku is no longer my favorite. This game gets a 0. Everyone pack it up, we're done here.
Be sure to give him my very best wishes.
Well, okay. If Santa can forgive him, I suppose I can too.
I will, but... do you know where I can find Riku?
No, but don't give up. Remember, if you believe in Riku, you will find him. Just as you found me.
That's pretty solid advice that actually turns out to be true.
Hey, check us out.
Aw, Sora looks adorable. Donald being another type of bird and Goofy being a turtle with a natural shield is also super fitting.
Man, that Scar's got the worst timing.
Saved by Scar. Huh, never thought that would be a win. I love how gracefully Scar dismounts, but Pete ends up just falling. I guess cats don't always land on their feet.
Sora, Donald, Goofy!
One of the best things in Kingdom Hearts 2 is your summons recognizing you from previous adventures.
Hakuna
Matata!
We get to be a part of the Hakuna Matata conga line.
He's not the Simba I remember. Something about Hakuna Matata.
It means no worries.
For the rest of your days.
Wait a minute, we're gonna fight your uncle for this?
Yeah, Timon. Haven't you ever heard of a fixer-upper?
Anger and jealousy turned the king of Pride Rock into a Heartless. Oh, your kingdom's gonna rise again. But this time as the Pridelands of Darkness.
That's what you think.
Okay. That took a turn I wasn't expecting. Apparently Scar became heartless and is immune to fall damage.
You see, Axel's no longer acting in our best interest.
Is he with the organization too?
Yes.
You having a fight?
Not a very organized organization.
This goes to the strongest guy in Twilight Town.
Ha! That expression of, who, me? When he knows damn well he's beaten Darkness Incarnate. Also Marluxia, even though he doesn't remember it.
Thanks, but we don't really need it.
Whoa!
I don't care if you don't need it. Take it, you losers. Ugh!
I tell you, Kyrie, you've got a lot of guts jumping right into the darkness like that.
Well, Kyrie's bravery is one of her best traits. Limit Form is another new addition to Final Mix that lets you access your Kingdom Hearts 1 form and gives you abilities that you used to use. Cloud and Tifa being in their Advent Children outfits is most definitely a win. The Gull Wings!
I'm looking for somebody. Have any of you seen a guy with spiky hair?
Do you have the slightest idea how little that narrows it down?
Spikier.
Still doesn't really narrow it down, Tifa. Now that's a secret passage.
This is it! Where's Kyrie? Where's Riku?
I always find it hilarious that Sora acts like an old man around any kind of technology. Computer not giving you the answers right away? Beat it like it owes you money. Ha! I love that Stitch is randomly crawling around in the background.
Attention current user. This is a warning. Further misuse of this terminal will result in immediate defensive action.
I'm not sure if that's Stitch's fault or Donald's, but I'm gonna blame Donald anyway.
Donald!
I'm sorry!
Decision gate breached. You are now under arrest.
Oh, hell yeah! We get to go to Tron! Okay, but like, seriously, holy shit, they put Tron in Kingdom Hearts! Plus, Sora, Donald, and Goofy get era-appropriate outfits.
Observe.
I could use one of those for Donald on command. I mean, hey, stop hurting my friend. Also Donald.
This system is a copy of one created by a corporation called NCOM. The original program was destroyed. But this copy was acquired by another user. The new user updated and customized the programs, renaming the system Hollow Bastion OS. He used the system for town maintenance and to advance his private research.
See, the game came up with a story to the world that meshes in with the original story without resorting to being an OC insert fanfic. This is why the original stories always work better than the ones that rehash the movies.
Okay, we'll just have to find your user and ask him. What's his name?
You mean you don't know? My user is the user of this system. Ansem the Wise.
Ansem?
That may make things a bit awkward. It's appropriate to find the charm to summon Stitch where he first appeared.
Well, I didn't touch nothing.
Welcome to the game grid.
Damn it, Goofy, you just had to touch something. Actually, I can't even be mad at him. The game grid is awesome. Ansem took the characters portion of password creating a bit too literally.
Finally, I have full access to the DTD. My takeover of the system is now complete.
Oh boy, that ain't good.
I might have anticipated such a simple password. Unless your database has all the Disney movies, I'm calling bullshit.
What's this? An emergency destruct program for the town. Let's see how it performs.
Ansem, why in the unholy fuck would that ever be a function you need?
I'm disappointed in you, program.
Oh man, that's so much worse than him being mad at me.
You, my friends, are the new password.
Aw, that's sweet.
Tron, hang in there.
Aw, that's sweet. Tron really is the best.
Hey, Sora. Why don't you get started unloading the data and copying it down? It's just a few keystrokes. Easy, right?
It is, if you aren't technologically impaired.
The data is correct.
Stupid computer!
Sora, technician taps only work if you're a technician.
Huh? Who's this guy?
Only Sora could beat an answer that he wasn't really looking for out of a computer.
Look, this is Ansem. You know, the guy we all worked really hard to defeat.
Oh, that's right. I never finished explaining.
What?
Well, the man in the picture is definitely the one who tried to take over Kingdom Hearts. The one you fellas defeated. But what you actually fought was his Heartless. You see, he wasn't really Ansem. He just went around telling everybody that he was.
Thus started the confusion of Xehanort's Horcruxes and multiple people being named Ansem. It's actually not that confusing if you put Seeker of Darkness and the Wise after the names, but this was definitely a good twist, especially when we tried to defeat the big bad, but ended up being his Heartless.
What?
Ha! It made Mickey jump a foot in the air.
We went through all that trouble to defeat an imposter?
Yup, a fake. But he still had to be stopped.
Reassuring your buddy.
Oh, I'm kinda confused.
Goofy is the voice of millions of Kingdom Hearts fans.
Your Majesty, do you know where Riku is?
He's... I'm sorry. I can't help.
Even though Mickey wants Sora to know his friend is okay, he made a promise to Riku that he wouldn't tell Sora what happened, and damn it all if that isn't respectable as hell. Wins for keeping your promises.
Helping others should always come before asking others for help.
Solid advice all around.
What are you, nuts? We're never gonna win. I don't know about you, but I'm out of here, sister.
You pathetic coward.
Fine. I'll do it myself.
Did Leon really have any treasure? We don't have time for you.
What the fuck? Where's this one-shot attack when I'm playing?
Whoa!
His entrance may not come with an epic summoning circle this time, but Sephiroth's entrance is no less badass. That may be a meta joke for the whole not being there before. That leads to one of the best parts of Kingdom Hearts 2 Final Mix, but I'll talk more about that later. Since there have been enough variations that have shown up, it's safe now to say that all of the nobodies correlate to a member of the organization. Samurai are for Roxas, dancers are for Demyx, assassins are for Axel, and so on. Since the organization is so tight-knit with only 13 members, it's cool to see the variety of enemy that correlates with their bosses.
Think you can handle this many? Well, might be tough if one more shows up.
Helping out your nemesis?
Okay, fellas, you've got to go find Riku and Kairi.
But Leon and the others are friends too.
Don't worry, there's already lots of help here. We'll take care of this fight.
But I promised Leon.
Donald, Goofy, take Sora and get going.
Riku, Kairi, give me a little time, okay?
Your Majesty!
We understand. We'll go search for Riku and Kairi.
Right. Watch for danger.
You be careful too.
Wait, you guys.
Sora, do as you're told.
You're coming with us whether you want to or not.
Come on, Sora. You gotta be good.
Gotcha.
Well then, skedaddle.
Let's go.
Whoa!
All of this is wonderful. Sora is understandably ready and willing to help his friends. Yes, he needs to search for Riku and Kairi, but his other friends are in immediate danger, and he's not going to let them down either. Donald and Goofy are so close with Sora that they are willing to both obey and disobey their king. They may not have taken Sora to go look for Riku and Kairi, but they're still protecting him from harm like they're supposed to be doing. The friendship between those three is heartwarming and I love it.
I'm sorry, Your Majesty.
Hope you can forgive us.
At least they're polite about it. I feel the unknown on the screen is a callback to Kingdom Hearts 1.
It has been far too long, friend.
Extra foreshadowing for Birth by Sleep.
Why is he never around when I need him? It's almost as if he knows I'm looking for him.
Well, you're consistently the lowest ranked organization member.
How long ago was it? When a bunch of warriors wielding key-shaped swords appeared and unleashed a spectacular battle. And when it was all over, all that was left was a man lying unconscious without his memories.
Even as far back as Kingdom Hearts 2, Xigbar seems a bit off. Like, he knows way more than he should.
I told them they were sending the wrong guy.
Somehow, my thoughts of being asked to do anything pops into the game.
Right. No hearts. Oh, we do too have hearts. Don't be mad.
I'm sure it was originally just Demyx being defensive, but that actually ended up being very true.
Silence, traitor.
Sora's expression from being dumbfounded by Demyx is priceless. Mr. Dance Water Dance's battle is pretty great. He may be the laziest of the organization, but he's no slouch when it comes down to it. He summons water clones of himself that you have to defeat. Then, when you're actually fighting him, he can wail on you with his sitar and create columns of water. The first true battle with an organization member is fantastic. Yeeting Goofy like a rocket is a win.
Oh, no way!
Even in death, Demyx is a drama queen.
Look out!
No, God! No, God, please, no! 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 No!
Goofy!
No.
Hey, you're the king's captain. You gotta get up.
Come on, wake up!
I'm sorry about the ice cream.
Goofy?
Goofy.
This is not happening. It can't be happening. It can't.
So, yes, obviously they aren't going to kill off Goofy in hindsight, but damn if they didn't play it up and make it convincing.
They'll pay for this.
You know you done goofed when you pissed King Mickey off. As you're battling your way to the Great Maw, you're stuck in areas where you have to defeat all the Heartless, but you get aid from your Final Fantasy friends.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine, but...
Goofy.
Hey, fellas!
Only Goofy could get hit with a big-ass rock and just be knocked out for a few minutes.
Wow, whoa, whoa, whoa! That hurt too!
Don't you ever do that again!
It's a very simple entrance, but flipping his hood back and then coldly staring at the group is a hell of an entrance. Yeah, that's an awesome shot. This is easily one of the top moments in all of Kingdom Hearts. There are exactly 1,000 Heartless you have to fight. Is it challenging? No, not really. Is it epic that you slay 1,000 of these bad boys by yourself? You bet your ass it is. And appropriately enough, guess how many wins it gets? That's right. Something that I've always thought was great was leveling up traverse abilities by using your drive forms. Want to jump higher? Get hits in with Valor. Want to glide? Use Final Form and defeat nobodies. It's one of those fun systems where you get rewarded for playing the game and utilizing it to the fullest, and I love it.
As for Riku, perhaps you should ask your king.
Stop!
Mickey, it's hella sus when you'd rather jump through a portal of darkness than answer a question.
Organization 13 wants to get rid of the Heartless?
Man, you're slow. Every Heartless slain with that Keyblade releases a captive heart. That is what the organization is after.
They played us like a damn fiddle!
Just let me into the realm of darkness, okay?
Gotta love Sora so willing to save his friends, he would be willing to go into the realm of darkness, which is extremely dangerous without any sort of protective gear. Win for loyalty.
Is she that important to you?
Yeah, more than anything.
Show me how important.
Please.
Not that he has any, but it's also great he's willing to set any ego or pride he has aside in order to see his friends.
Pitiful Heartless, mindlessly collecting hearts. And yet, they know not the true power of what they hold. The rage of the Keyblade releases those hearts. They gather in darkness, masterless and free, until they weave together to make Kingdom Hearts. And when that time comes, we can truly, finally exist.
That's a hell of a callback to the introduction of 358 over 2 days.
Kingdom Hearts belongs to me. The heart of all kingdoms. The heart of all that lives. A dominion fit to be called Kingdom Hearts must be my dominion!
So the whole thing with Maleficent this game is she's just trying to get a new castle after we booted her ass out of Hollow Bastion.
While I keep these creatures at bay, you devise a way to vanquish them forever!
Maleficent.
Do not misunderstand me. I shall have my revenge on you yet.
Maleficent saving Sora is not something I was expecting.
I was not expecting that. But I was expecting not to expect something, so it doesn't count.
But she does need to get revenge on him, so... that's a tricky one.
Leave now!
I don't take orders from you!
You're not my supervisor!
If he is to die so easily, he is of no use to us.
So it's not just me, right? Paul St. Peter's voice as Xemnas is sexy as fuck. Yes, that's the win, and there's not a damn thing you can do about it.
Maybe everything we've done, maybe it was all for nothing. What am I supposed to do if I can't use the Keyblade?
Imbeciles! You can't be trusted to do anything.
Huh?
Maleficent to the rescue. That's not something I thought I'd ever say.
What is that?
My dick in a box! Now we get to the part of the game where there are no new worlds, and you're just retreading old worlds looking for Riku and Kairi. Not a bad reason to revisit, but it feels like a slog at times. This is a statement more than a win or a negative, so I'm just going to play both noises and move on. Even though it's a mystery, but also really obvious, I like how the camera focuses on the Soul Eater to really let you know who the hooded man is. Well, they don't dress and drag to accomplish it, but I do love seeing this callback to the movie. This Chinese-inspired Dragon Heartless has an amazing design and is worth a second trip to Land of Dragons.
It is my belief that this young man came to warn me of that danger. Then I could alert and prepare my troops.
Did you?
I was about to, but he told me this situation had changed.
He said 3 wise guys had arrived, and they would take care of things.
Yep, that sounds like Riku alright.
But what's he doing hanging out with Organization 13?
He's not, he just likes their fashion. Since your work in the world isn't finished until you revisit them, the closing logo doesn't show up until the second visit.
Yes, let your anger grow. Let the hate flow through you.
You're all going to die.
Leave me alone.
Come on, you need to hear this. You used to be fearless. You would have given your life to save Belle. Don't you know what that meant to us? You gave us all courage. Maybe you should have kept some for yourself. I mean, are you really gonna throw your happiness away? The rose is your only hope, isn't it? Well, it's the only hope for Cogsworth and the others, too. So don't throw away your last chance. Remember what it was like before Belle lived here? See? You can't give up. Not now.
Pep talk! Also, I love how this ties into Kingdom Hearts 1 with Sora being lost after Riku took his Keyblade and friends, and how he would have been lost without Beast.
You! Get out of my castle now!
With pleasure. But I'd rather travel light. What shall I leave behind? Belle or the rose?
Belle!
I'm very impressed with Beast. While this isn't a one-to-one recreation of the story with the movie, it still shows Beast's growth. He did hesitate for a second, but he sounded sure of himself when he chose Belle and immediately went for her.
Good one, Belle!
Belle ain't no damsel in distress. Occasionally, when you use your drive form, you'll summon up anti-form, which works as a great balance system. You won't get the form of your choosing, but it is an incredibly powerful form.
But it lacks the ability to finish off bosses though, which is something that is terrible about the system as a whole. You can't actually fight a boss fight unless it's with a combo finisher. Can't tell you how many times we have played, especially on the harder difficulties, and lost the fight simply because we weren't able to pull up the entire combo to reach the finisher.
Zaldin can summon a giant snake lance thingy. Ending the world of Beast Castle with him and Belle dancing to the instrumental theme of Beauty and the Beast is amazing. While it's great we get a Coliseum,
you don't get the experience from them, and they seem like a watered-down version of what came before.
Okay, let's review. State your crime, prisoner.
I exist. That is my crime. It is inexcusable.
thoughts of my inner turmoil somehow make it into the game.
Not what I had in mind, but I'll take it.
I suppose I should thank you.
Not at all.
Fine.
I mean, sure, you could thank us a little.
You should say what you mean.
Life lessons from Auron.
Jack!
Zola, some assistance?
That's Sora, Donald, and Goofy.
Will you leave a mate to perish? Throw him overboard.
Aye, aye.
Holly! Excuse me?
Barley?
It's a bit of the pirate's code. Anyone who invokes parley must not be harmed till negotiations are complete.
This is no time for rules.
True.
But as we're honorable pirates, we should always stick to the code.
Well, at least there's some honor, even when it's not deserved. Also, pirate lessons.
'Cause we're not greedy. What are you looking at?
You know what you did, Donald.
The Neverland summon is incredibly disappointing this time around. The revival mechanic only lasts as long as the summon itself, not indefinitely like last time.
Yeah, but doesn't that make it a bit more challenging? You yourself complained about that in the Isle Dragon Roars.
No. Other summons had their limits in the first one. There was no need to change it. Besides, you still need 2 active party members for the summons. That is the balance.
Ahoy, mateys!
Ridiculous imitation, and yet I'm flattered.
Battling the Grim Reaper may have been annoying to some, but I find it a fun gimmick battle. You can only do damage while all the coins are in the chest, and to get the coins from it, you must deal magical damage or get the reaction command to fling its scythe at it. Also, the Grim Reaper just has a cool design.
It's certain we don't need the likes of that hooded fellow and the Heartless about. They'll ruin the market for us true pirates.
So that's why you went to Port Royal. And we thought you actually wanted to save everyone.
It can be both. I mean, it's not, but it can be.
Oh yes. A reward. And what'll it be?
That lovely blade of Sora's.
Huh? Okay, sure.
Hold on, that was far too easy. What's the rub? Ah, there, you see?
You know, now I'd actually like to see Jack Sparrow as a Keyblade wielder. A surprising twist, they pulled the movie plot from one of the direct-to-video sequels. I guess the merchant isn't doing too bad from the looks of it.
Jafar! Give me the magic lamp, Aladdin. And now, street rats, I bid you farewell. Crush those urchins.
I don't know if this is supposed to be them remembering him as the cartoony villain he is, since none of this explicitly happened in Kingdom Hearts 1, but hearing Jonathan Freeman ham up the role is worth it either way.
What a disaster! We're just gonna have to turn back!
So, I just got the news of Gilbert Gottfried's passing as I got to this part, and I just gotta say, rest in peace, dude. Your unique voice made a huge chunk of my childhood.
This is what having a genie for a best friend is all about! I mean, how can you leave me on the sidelines at a time like this? Lift large! Follow, Mel! With the old razzmatazz. What do you say, kid?
Hey, Genie!
Zora! Want to see a little something I call sandstorm sweep?
Take it away, Genie.
Alakazam! You know, one lousy sandstorm, it's just too easy.
Whoa!
How about giving me a challenge next time, eh, Al?
Genie, as always, is the best, but Salty Genie is even better. This whole section with the carpet ride is interesting. On the one hand, I loathe doing it every time, but on the other hand, it is unique in trying to shake things up, so I don't want to be too harsh on it. I'll throw up another duo noise and move on.
Where's Jafar?
Well, let's see. Right about now, know, he's probably attacking the palace.
The good thing about most villains is they stick to their itinerary. Evil, but punctual.
What are you doing? No! How can I be defeated again by a pack of filthy street rats?
Don't mess with street rats.
I want to be a good friend like Genie, but I can't do anything to help you. What kind of a friend is that?
Oh no, it's not like that, Iago. Friends don't have to do stuff. As long as we have fun hanging out together, that's all that matters.
Friendship advice.
So, what do you guys do for fun?
I came in like a wrecking ball.
These presents must belong to Sandy Claus, so I thought I'd better return them.
You just happened to find them?
Of course, Sora. I'm finished with Christmas fantasies, you know that.
He says while wearing his Sandy Claus outfit.
But you thought you'd hold on to the suit.
What, this? It's just a costume. And Sally worked so very hard making it.
Well, he does have a point. Getting to trap those little shits in boxes is so cathartic. Getting to make trap presents for Dr. Finkelstein's experiment is fun, especially when you get to shoot one of those little shits.
Oh, Sally. You've given me the nicest present in the world, and I've nothing to give you in return. What would you like? Just name it. Absolutely anything.
The nicest present I could ever ask for, Jack, is just to be with you.
You don't even have to ask for that.
I like when Sora is sappy like that. After watching Jack and Sally really show Sora the true meaning of what it is to give someone a gift, he thinks about the person he cares about most and hopes that he's done the same.
I just wish I knew what my father would do.
But he's not here, Simba. It's all up to you now. And that means the important thing is what you're gonna do being the king, not what your father would have done.
That's some good advice all around.
The hesitant king will one day lose all his friends.
Can somebody doctor?
Worried by a silly old ghost.
Ooh, Simba, the do-nothing king.
Strangest form of pep talk I've seen, but whatever it takes. Groundshaker may not be the best boss in KH2, but it is a pretty great spectacle fight.
Take this!
Okay, so we're playing in Atlantica.
Yep.
With no new content and the story is recycled from the movie and does not acknowledge the previous game.
Yes, sir.
And it's nothing but musical numbers.
That is correct.
Also, it advances the main plot in no way at all.
Yep, Skerdoodle.
How many negatives should I give it?
I don't know, man. Probably a lot. The one good thing I can say is there's no swimming sections other than swimming to Sebastian for the next song.
Not really enough to save it from its fate.
Oh boy, I didn't see it yet.
Okay, so they did acknowledge...
No, that doesn't count.
Titan can't be rid of me, not that easily. And like all who dare defy me, he will learn his lesson well. Never toy with a girl like me.
You got what you deserved.
Okay, Sora and the gang popping off at Ursula is worth some wins back, right?
I'll allow it.
One improvement I love is all the minigames in the 100 Acre Wood are way improved over the KH1 counterparts.
Oh, and thank you for rescuing my friend Piglet, somebody I don't know.
Oh, sure. Don't mention it.
Oof, that's gotta cut deep. I like the areas pop up once you've completed them.
I'll always be with you. Right here. You don't have to go anywhere. Just stay here, and you can see me anytime you want.
You mean I just have to stay right here?
Yep, that's all.
Would you promise?
Promise.
I'll always adore Pooh and Sora's relationship. No complicated Heartless and Nobody and Xehanort stuff, just pure friendship. Because all the pages were restored, the book has been healed, and we even get a new cover. Hey, what the fuck? Why are computer Heartless a thing in real life?
Turns out the MCP is using the data in that computer to crank out Heartless.
That's why you don't download porn on the work network, Sid. A side effect of the computer system going haywire is now the town's defense systems are targeting you.
This is your final warning. Stop at once.
Bon appetit. Don't talk with your mouth full.
What are you loading?
Aerith being sassy is a win.
Play, let it rip!
Back in the game. Running execute.
I love being able to break down the MCP's barrier and delete his data with Tron.
Of course, I do have my silly limits.
Okay, then I'll tweak your program when I get back to the user world.
You? Maybe we better not try that.
Even Tron knows Sora isn't to be trusted with electronics.
Hey, stop that. It tickles.
Tron is ticklish?
How about this?
Please stop that.
I think Tron's been hanging around those guys too much.
Wait, just a moment. I want to show you something I dug up from the system archives. You can see the town back when it was first built.
That's right. I remember now.
Just like the old days. I'd be fascinated to ascertain as to when the town got such a dreadful name as Hollow Bastion.
You know, this town had another name once. Radiant Garden.
I love this so much. It's almost like remembering a part of yourself that you had lost, and these people who had been scattered about for the last decade have finally come home. So ordinarily, I would post this at the start of the final world, but thematically it makes more sense to put it before Twilight Town, so here we are. Anyway, to start off our endgame/superboss talking points, we have the Mushroom 13. They are tailored to be small challenges utilizing your skills, abilities, and ingenuity. Each has its own set of challenges to overcome, and if you can best their high score, you get all sorts of goodies, and if you best all of them, you get a new Keyblade. Garden of Assemblage is easily one of the coolest things Final Mix has added. You get to fight every single organization member, and they're a bit more challenging than they were in the base story to boot.
Well, that's an interesting sword you're carrying.
It's the Keyblade!
I see. So that's a Keyblade. And I suppose you must be its chosen wielder.
So what if I am?
I wonder if it won't change its mind once I defeat you.
The Sephiroth fight is most definitely a win. Also, he's voiced by Lance Bass, who was a member of NSYNC. Between him and Jesse McCartney voicing Roxas, I think they wanted to have the 90s teenage heartthrob demographic in the game.
How'd you like that?
I admit you're very skilled.
Gotta love how the smackdown Sora just laid on him didn't remotely faze him. Thus begins the greatest battle in all of Kingdom Hearts. Seriously, holy shit, this fight is so cool. Not only is it the teaser secret boss for Birth by Sleep, not only is it cool as hell, not only does it have badass Keyblade armor, but the things the Lingering Will can do with the Keyblade is something showing us, while we are strong, there is so much to learn. Small dead man anecdote time. I could not beat him for the longest time. I lost over 500 times and stopped counting because he was so thoroughly beating me. There was no point to it. I had to beat Dark Souls before this fight finally clicked for me. He is so thrilling to fight, showing off a small handful of things to come in Birth by Sleep. The music that accompanies him, Rage Awaken, is amazing to fight to, and the name is another nod to what we are to expect going into Birth by Sleep. The armor is powered by pure rage from Terra's will, hence the name, Lingering Will. It's so enraged by Xehanort, it's been able to stay alive from pure rage, a la Man on Fire. TLDR, Lingering Will is amazing, and I'll never stop loving this fight. The assault on the Dreadnought is an awesome last gummy ship mission.
Well, Your Majesty, Sora thinks it might have been Riku.
It's just a feeling I had.
Well, if that's what you think, then it's probably right.
You mean Riku's okay?
If that's what you think.
Damn it, Mickey, quit with your half-truths.
I've waited long enough, Your Majesty. Tell me what you know.
It's not for me to say.
But Your Majesty, why?
I don't want to break my promise.
You made a promise to Riku? So he's okay! I can see him again!
Well, you didn't technically break your promise. Betwixt and Between is a really cool place between worlds. Also, it's slightly silly since betwixt does mean between, but the definitions are slightly different. Also, betwixt and between does actually mean not fully or properly either of two things.
Don't stop moving, or the darkness will overtake you!
So while betwixt and between is a specific corridor of darkness between fake Twilight Town and the world that never was, this is what it looks like on the inside of one.
Get going!
Axel to the rescue. Tag team with Axel.
I think I liked it better when they were on my side.
Feeling a little regret?
Nah, I can handle these punks. Watch this.
You're fading away.
Well, that's what happens when you put your whole being into an attack. You know what I mean? Not that nobodies actually have beings, right? Anyway, I digress. Go. Find Kairi. Oh, almost forgot. Sorry for what I did to her.
When we find her, you can tell her that yourself.
Think I'll pass. My heart just wouldn't be in it, you know? Haven't got one.
Axel, what were you trying to do?
I wanted to see Roxas. He was the only one I liked. He made me feel like I had a heart. It's kind of funny. You make me feel the same. Kairi's in the castle dungeon. Now go!
Axel.
Self-sacrifice. Axel's got jokes for days, even while he's on his deathbed, and it's all the more tragic because he just wanted to see his friend again. The world that never was is so interesting to me. It's a dark and gloomy cityscape with skyscrapers for days, and at the end is the epic castle.
Huh? A Keyblade?
Another one of the greatest things they added to Final Mix is getting to actually play this battle. It's a battle of wills between Sora and Roxas, and the entire time Roxas' somber theme is playing, giving this battle an edge of tragedy. And because I didn't mention it before, the Station of Awakening is an amazing set piece for this fight.
You make a good other.
That one line shows that as hard as Roxas fought for his freedom to be his own person, he's accepted his fate, and is at least happy his somebody is someone as great as Sora. The Keyblade you receive from beating Roxas is also worth the addition, as it's one of the coolest ones to date. At least there's a dog to pet while you're in jail.
Who? Believe in yourself.
Is that a joke because Kanamine is part of Kairi? Sora learned the ability to summon bridges, apparently.
Kairi, I'm afraid leaving is not an option. I'll take you to see Sora. You don't want that?
I do. More than anything. But not with you around.
If I had a heart, this would be where I'd die of laughter.
Riku, you're really here?
I love the detail of his gaze dropping, because even though all the progress he's made to be a better person and everything he's sacrificed for his friends, he's still ashamed of how he looks and what he did.
You leave Sora alone!
Kairi is fearless. Even though it was probably a bit reckless. Riku to the rescue.
Take it.
This time, I'll fight.
Kairi gets a Keyblade.
You know Sora's completely hopeless without us. Come on, Riku.
I love Kairi so much. She's such a fun character.
It's been too long, my friend.
Ansem the Wise, why didn't you come to me before things got so bad?
Xemnas, the organization superior, is the nobody of Xehanort, my foremost apprentice. The burden was mine to bear. Your pride came at the cost of, well, just look around. When I met Riku the first time, he still had the appearance of a boy. Probably because he had such a strong heart. I asked him to find a young man named Roxas from Organization 13 and bring him to me. When I told him it would help Sora awaken from his slumber, Riku left without a word. He fought Roxas, and I can only surmise Riku lost that fight. Riku must have realized then, to fight in the realm of darkness, he would have to immerse himself in that same darkness. And when he did, you saw what became of him. When Riku brought Roxas back to me, he was introducing himself as Ansem. If that was what it took to awaken his friend, he was ready to live in darkness.
While I don't at all agree with what Ansem the Wise did, his end goal of awakening Sora was good in a sense.
He abused Riku's trust in order to exact his revenge. I don't think that's noble in any way. Riku was the victim of my revenge. Oh, how my heart ached. I could only laugh to hide my shame.
He at least knew what he was doing was wrong and felt shame for it. Besides, that's part of his character, to be a selfish dickhead who will stop at nothing for his end goal.
I guess it must have been after that when I saw Riku again. He said he wanted to help Sora, but he made me promise. Promise that Sora wouldn't ever find out about what happened to him while he was out in the darkness.
We could only guess before, but now Mickey has spelled it out. Riku is ashamed at how he rescued Sora, but can be happy knowing his friend is safe. That's an entrance.
I guess that must be why the Keyblade chose you. But man, did it pick a dud this time. You don't look like you're half the hero the others were.
That could be a Birth by Sleep reference, but with the benefit of hindsight and future knowledge, that could easily be referencing the Keyblade War and Union Cross. Xigbar really was written with more intrigue and mystery than we gave him credit for initially.
Gotcha now!
While Xigbar doesn't have a flashy weapon summon like most of the organization, he makes up for it with style of his own. Combining his 2 pistol shooters into a sniper to be able to take us out from long range and have us return the bolts back is fun design. He also has control over space and can warp the playing field for his own benefit.
Yes. Kingdom Hearts. Rejoice and feast on these hearts we offer. Shine your pale light on this empty realm. Share your power with all nobodies.
I guess Zemnis is a poet on the side. Who knew?
I'm sorry.
This is real.
Hugging.
I never thought for a second that I'd ever see you again. Just thinking about all the things you did makes me really mad. But you saved Kyrie, right? I have to be grateful for that. Thanks.
Showing compassion towards your enemy. Even when he's not your enemy, he just looks like him.
Kyrie, what did you just say?
Riku.
I'm no one, just a castaway from the darkness.
Riku is still protecting himself from Sora. Considering the last time they saw each other, Riku had stayed behind in the realm of darkness, so again, he's ashamed that the power of darkness caused him to turn into Ansem again, and doesn't want his best friend to see him in this state.
Here. You'll understand. Close your eyes.
It's so sweet they get to reunite like this. I genuinely love that Sora is just beaming, because after all this time, he's finally found his friend.
Riku! It's Riku. Riku's here. I looked for you.
Come on, Sora. You've got to pull it together.
And Sora is just beyond relieved his friend is okay.
Why didn't you let me know you were okay?
I told you. I didn't want to be found. Not like this. I couldn't. I fought with Ansem, with Xehanort's Heartless. When it invaded my heart and I won. But to use the power of darkness, I had to become Ansem myself.
Something that occurred to me when going through the script is we never really see the cocky Riku from Kingdom Hearts 1 again. Sure, it shows through now and then, but he's changed from all of his time with the darkness. He's more reserved and calculating, rather than being reckless and headstrong. That's some good character growth. Proof of Existence is a really cool idea for a hub world that leads to everyone's rooms, and it even reflects on who's alive and who's not. The really cool thing is, Roxas' light is still on, since he's alive in Sora and never technically died.
I'd rather we just skip the formalities.
That's a pretty cool way to give us a one-on-one battle. With Luxord in his battle, you're playing with time, so rather than just attack Luxord, you have to play his games if you want to come out the victor.
Only you could have made it this far in one piece, Roxas.
That's really getting old.
Yeah, he's Sora.
Different name, same fate.
Holy shit, that line is raw as fuck.
This is it.
Not gonna lie, getting to beat Saïx with his own weapon is amazing.
Ansem the Wise. You look pathetic.
Have your laugh. I deserve as much for failing to see you for the fool you are.
Students do take after their teachers. Only a fool would be your apprentice.
Burn and self-burn?
I'm afraid that any world you try to create, any world of yours, would be an empire of ignorance. That is why you and your creation are destined to fall.
Gotta get one last jab in before the explosion.
Wow!
Riku!
Ansem did say anything could happen.
I guess part of that is Riku being restored to his smexy self. With Riku in your party now, he can follow up to a combo finisher with Dark Aura and protect you with Dark Shield.
Guys!
That's a badass way to summon us into a boss arena.
Get ready, Xemnas. It all ends here. Let's go!
Armored Xemnas on his throne is unbelievably badass, especially when he utilizes all the attacks from prior organization members. This is how you escalate a boss fight to epic tier status. I'm just putting this in here since I love when games can give you such a power-up you can utterly annihilate one of the forms of the final boss in 6 seconds. Also, the Death Gargle is amazing.
I need more rage. I need more hearts.
Xemnas, there's more to a heart than just anger or hate. It's full of all kinds of feelings. Don't you remember?
There's the point where our beacon of light comes in. Sora can't help but to feel pity for Xemnas, even though he was trying to end everything.
You're coming back with us, right?
I had given in to the darkness.
Riku!
How am I gonna face everyone?
Like this?
Another point on why Sora's so great. He knows Riku feels bad for what he did and has been atoning for his sins, so he doesn't want Riku to feel guilty anymore. He's forgiven him, and he's just ready to have his friend back.
See? We meet again, like we promised.
Huh?
You said we'd meet again. But when we did, we might not recognize each other.
This is great because it actually works on 2 levels. She could have been easily talking to Sora, but she was more directly talking to Roxas. It's also wonderful that, yes, they did meet again, even if it's through their somebodies. Oh, that can be good. Flying around on the glider using combo attacks with Sora and Riku that ends with a giant fuck-off laser is amazing. You're probably thinking to yourself, hey, wait a minute. Deadman has gone all video without gushing about the music. Is he okay? And the answer is, yes, random viewer, I'm positively giddy. For you see, I was waiting until this moment to talk about it. The music was recorded with a full orchestra for the Kingdom Hearts 2.5 collection, and damn, does it sound phenomenal. Darkness of the Unknown has always been the peak of Kingdom Hearts music for me, and it shows considering it has been rearranged and remixed for later encounters. It's not a final boss fight until someone throws a building at you. I mean, in this instance, I did the building throwing, but to be fair, he's also throwing buildings at me.
Heroes from the realm of light. I will not allow it to end this way. Not yet. If light and darkness are eternal, then surely we nothings must be the same. Eternal.
Badass final arena. Badass speech. And holy shit, badass cloak.
You're right. Light and darkness are eternal. Nothing probably goes on forever too. But guess what, Xemnas?
That doesn't mean you're eternal.
No more eternal than that radiance of yours. Anger and hate are supreme.
Cannot define in words just how epic this final showdown is. Sora and Riku versus Xemnas. Light and dark versus nothing. Just wow. The music waning down to a quiet intensity and not something bombastic also sets this so perfectly.
Out of my way! Is that all you got? I'll take him. Right, I'll lose it all! Riku! Time's up!
Riku's limit break, Session, is perfect. Not only does the duo combine forces in the most epic of ways, they even do a little fist bump at the end.
Sora!
Yes! Getting to play as Riku is absolutely a win, even if it's only for a minute.
Is that all you got?
I just can't even. This whole fight is so fucking cool. Sora and Riku put in a back-to-back scenario to fight off an endless amount of ethereal blades is just so cool. Yes! Epic teamwork!
Even if we could go on, look where we are.
Aw, come on, Riku. You've been hanging out in darkness too long. You gotta try and think positive.
You know, I always figured I was better at stuff than you.
Really?
Are you mad?
No. I kinda always thought you were better at everything, too.
To tell you the truth, Sora, I was jealous of you.
What for?
I wished I could live life the way you do. Just following my heart.
Yeah, well, I've got my share of problems, too.
Like what?
Like wanting to be like you.
Well, there is one advantage to being me. Something you can never imitate.
Really? What's that?
Having you for a friend.
Aw, they're so sweet.
Thinking of you wherever you are. We pray for our sorrows to end. And hope that our hearts will blend.
Now I will step forward to realize this wish. And who knows? Starting a new journey may not be so hard. Or maybe it's already begun. There are many worlds, but they share the same sky. One sky one destiny.
Kyrie's letter finally made it to Sora just when he needed it the most. Homage to the first Kingdom Hearts opening.
There's a new land, my sanctuary.
Hugging and friendship.
We're back.
You're home.
Your home is the best, absolute best way to end this game. Sora fought to get Kairi and Riku back safely to their homes and was greeted with "your home." I can't possibly do the scene justice other than saying it's perfect. Things could have ended here, and it would have been perfect. I'm perfectly happy they didn't, but I love how this is the end of one journey and the start of the next.
Look.
From the king?
My sequel senses are tingling! I love the inclusion of teasers to the next game in the current one. I remember this particular one set the Kingdom Hearts fandom on fire for a few years before Birth by Sleep came out. Kingdom Hearts is easily my favorite series of all time, and Kingdom Hearts 2 is my favorite game of the series. It's so good from start to finish, even when some of the Disney worlds drag on a bit. The highs are so high, and no matter how many times I play the game all the way through, it never really gets old. Also, yeah, some of the wins toward the end didn't get nearly as much as I would have ordinarily given out since I was trying to hit infinite at a specific time. Do with that what you will. The story was amazing. Building on Kingdom Hearts 1, Chain of Memories, and 358 over 2 days was perfectly executed, and you could even finish the story off right then and there, with the first 4 games acting as one complete arc of the story. I also just completely adore the character growth with the cast, with Kairi showing off more of her bravery, Sora showing off more of his courage, and Riku, as always, just being the absolute best friend he could possibly be. I don't really need to say much about the music, do I? It's top-notch as always, and it gave us one of the best video game OSTs ever. Yoko Shimomura can do no wrong. I've stated quite a few times how much I love Darkness of the Unknown, and I just think it's the perfect final boss theme. Even after playing Kingdom Hearts 3, I still feel like 2 has the best combat in the series, with reaction commands and drive form being the things that make it still tops to play. There's also just so much to do compared to all the other games in the series, especially with the content added into the final mix version. For the time, the graphics were understandably amazing. Sure, it's not as good looking as anything shown in 3, but they retain the style in 1, and even expanded on a lot of things from before. There's more detail now, and the cutscenes have better cinematics, being filled with action set pieces some of the time. In closing, even though I spend a lot of time going over why the series is great, I can't really nail down exactly what it is that makes this game so special to me. I know it's not just nostalgia, although I'd be lying if I said that wasn't part of it, probably the majority of it. This to me is just peak game design. It's fun to play first and foremost, and the story that goes along with it is just amazing. It's something that I can easily say I've played probably 20 times at least, if not more than that. And honestly, I'll probably play it another 20 before my life is completely over. This game is just, it means so much to me. It's a very, very special game to me. And I'm very thankful that I've been able to do this for as long as I have, to make Kingdom Hearts 2 my 50th game that I've covered on this channel so far. There's a lot more to come with the Everything Great About series, and I look forward to the next 50. I know exactly where the next, well, not where the next 50 is going to be, but I know what's going to happen when it hits 100, and I'm actually very, very excited for that, and I'm very excited to share that with all of you. So, if you would, like, subscribe, share around, tell your friends, leave a comment, do all the fun stuff. Let me know what you liked about Kingdom Hearts 2 down in the comments below. Something new I want to start doing is getting reactions from people who watch these videos, people who are longtime fans of mine, and just anybody that can get pulled into doing it. So I'm going to start basically reading off the tweets, messengers, anything, anywhere that I get these kinds of comments from, I'll be reading them off, and basically giving my little thoughts on, to add on to whatever the person said. So Keyboy says that it's the perfect sequel from the opening to the combat and just everything. And his favorite part of the game is the Sora vs. Roxas fight. And his favorite KH original world is the world that never was, and the Disney one is Halloween Town. I can honestly say, I feel the same way. The combat is definitely way more refined than the first one, and I can't say the same on the Sora vs. Roxas fight, but that was a pretty awesome inclusion to add. Definitely gotta agree with the world that never was for being the favorite Kingdom Hearts world ever created, and Disney World would probably be Halloween Town. But if they ever add in Treasure Planet or Atlantis, that might take the cake for me. Jimmy says he loves how Kingdom Hearts 2 was introduced, and so far, it's the only entry with worlds needing 2 or sometimes even more visits to complete the story. I get why that would be cool, especially just making the most out of your worlds. I personally just kind of like the one and done visit, and then you can go back to do cleanups later, but it was definitely interesting with Kingdom Hearts 2, and they at least didn't make the return visits drag on. David says he loves that they put a Tron area in it, and they even got Bruce Boxleitner to do Tron's voice. I gotta agree with that completely, because it's always awesome to have returning cast do the voices in these things. Like with Kingdom Hearts 1, they had the voice actress of Alice come back, and, you know, that was like a 50-year gap between those two, at least. And yeah, Tron's one of those Disney movies that kind of gets overlooked a lot, and, you know, not counting the Tron Legacy that whenever it came out, but before then, wasn't really talked about much or looked on, and that, actually, I take that back, it wouldn't be, Nightmare Before Christmas, it would be Space Paranoids, because that is just so cool to have Tron's world in there. Lord Chrono says the thing he loves about Kingdom Hearts 2 is how damn near perfect its combat system is, especially with the drive forms, plus the boss fights are all memorable AF. Gotta agree, it's the same thing I said before, the combat is very slick and very stylish, and the boss fights are all really good. I remember actually having whenever I had it on the PS2 before the Final Mix version came out, but I actually had a bunch of different sections saved so that I could replay those awesome boss fights. Like, I had one for each of the organization members, I know I had one for the Battle of 1,000 Heartless, and I had one for the dragon in Mulan's world, and it was just, it's so fun. A lot of the boss fights are still so memorable in there, whereas in other games they're still pretty good, but they're not quite as memorable. Mr. Mojo says he loves Kingdom Hearts 2 because it offers so much. Disney worlds are semi-relevant to the plot, the cameos were epic, and the cast is really good between the Guardians of Light and the organization. The worlds and environments are big and fun to explore. Granted, it would be expanded on later in Kingdom Hearts 3, but in Kingdom Hearts 2, yeah, the map layout of the worlds were really good. There wasn't any jank platforming like there was in Kingdom Hearts 1, and everything just flowed through very smoothly. And yeah, the Disney worlds are semi-relevant to the plot because, you know, you're still looking for your friends, and maybe they popped into these different worlds. You never know. Now, I did have a little bit of a misunderstanding with Stride at first, but they said they adore the different limits the game gives you. And I thought she meant the limit forms, or the limit spells with your buddies, and she meant the drive forms. And yeah, I gotta say, the drive forms is still one of the best parts of Kingdom Hearts 2, and I wish they would have brought something like that back to Kingdom Hearts 3. Granted, I know the Keyblades have different forms to change into, but it's still not quite the same as the drive forms. The drive forms are just phenomenal phenomenal increases in power that are just, they're so perfect. And the last bit of that, she said that I also like the game themes of duality and memories. It seems very relevant these last couple of years. Yeah, definitely has a kind of wistfully being lost in your memories kind of feel to it, and yeah, the older I get and the more time goes on, I can definitely feel that. Gamer G says they love the story from each game and the characters in each of them. It's like a wonderful journey that I'm happy to embark on. This series will forever be my childhood. I've pretty much said that already because, yeah, I love that the games, they are just a staple of my childhood. I mentioned before that Kingdom Hearts 1, I didn't buy that. I played that with my neighbor on the very first day that it came out, and that was the game that got me into loving games. And honestly, as many times as I've replayed the series, I still haven't gotten tired of it. Skull the Dumbass says, honestly, there's a lot to do and the combat is fun. The story is great, but the tutorial is a piss take though. It drags on, but other than that, it's an amazing game that at least everyone should experience or try. I can't say I agree with the comment on the tutorial. I actually kind of like the elongated tutorial, especially if you're just hopping in from Kingdom Hearts 1, like I know a lot of people did, and my friend did. You're a little confused, but there's also a little mystery there onto what's going on. It might overstay its welcome a little bit, but in any time I've ever played it, I've never had even remotely of an issue playing through it again. And that really is just going to come down to personal taste on that. Some people are going to enjoy the elongated tutorial, and some people aren't. It's really all up to personal taste. I personally don't have a problem with it, but you know, Skull apparently did, and that's fine. Everybody is allowed to have their own opinions on it, and that's kind of what makes these things great. That's why I wanted to do this. I wanted to see a bunch of different people's reactions to it, and see, you know, what kind of thing that everybody has to say. One Toxic Pixel says, actually she has two of them. The first one, she loved the heavy thematic themes they were approaching. The nobodies being what is left after your light has been consumed by darkness was such a fascinating thought to me. I could write an essay on how great that is, but, you know, Twitter's got their limit spaces. Also, people probably would just take it out of context or something. That's just how Twitter is. But I did like that too. It also was kind of an interesting thing. It was an interesting adaptation, or it was an interesting addition to everything that's gone on in Kingdom Hearts. Well, your heart got devoured, but what happens to the body that gets left behind, if there's one left behind? So it is a nice addition to it, and it definitely brings up the themes of light and darkness and the in-between, the nothings. I did love that aspect of it as well. And she wanted to add, the most important thing she loves is Axel. He has the best character arc, he's very sympathetic and relatable, and he has awesome hair, and he and I share names. Or at least they share the other name, Lee. It's perfect. Now, granted, it doesn't come up as much in 2, but he still has a very clear arc in the entirety of Kingdom Hearts 2, and it goes more into detail if you played Chain of Memories and 358 up to that point. And then if you're playing Dream Drop Distance and 3 beyond that, he has a very good character arc that definitely has a very good start and end in 2. With him being very angry that his best friend had left him and doing anything that he could to get him back, and just realizing maybe he's better off like that, and so he sacrifices himself for Sora, who is the best embodiment of his friend. It's very great, and I love it. Chelsea says she liked the game didn't start out with Sora mostly. She loves Sora, but she's glad they did something different with Kingdom Hearts 2. The controls and abilities in the game are also really nice, and hope that helps. Yes, it did, Chelsea. I fully agree. I'm glad that they didn't start off with Sora. As I said before, if you were coming in off of Kingdom Hearts 1, it adds to the nice little bit of confusion as to, oh, hey, what's going on? Who's this? And it adds a nice little air of mystery in the beginning, and I love it. JJ says he loves the combat, I love all the weirdness of it all, and I love how it was a proper challenge to me as a kid. I will agree with that very much. There's a lot of things that make Kingdom Hearts 2 easier, but there's also a lot of things that make it a bit more difficult too. Like the reaction commands can be really great if you nail them, but they can be really punishing if you don't sometimes. Mike, after his funny ramblings that he does, he says his favorite things about Kingdom Hearts was Halloween Town with Jack Skellington, and Goofy and Donald as bodyguards. Yet another person who loves the Halloween Town world, and I honestly can't say I don't blame you. Out of all the Disney worlds that have been represented over the years, I think Halloween Town is definitely one of the top ones that has ever been represented. Jazz says, Kingdom Hearts 2 makes the series so special to me. It improved upon everything combat-wise. Dual wielding is epic. Story is epic. I would change and get rid of the Little Mermaid singing section, though. Before we get on to the rest of that, I agree. I did not like the Little Mermaid section. It's definitely preferable to a section in Kingdom Hearts 3 that I will expand upon later. But it did feel very pointless to go through it. You do get some good rewards out of it. Like, I know you get an extra drive gauge. That's actually the only reward I remember. But other than that, it felt pretty pointless to have in, especially since it just rehashed the story of the movie and didn't acknowledge some of the things that were in Kingdom Hearts 1 that actually made that story interesting in there. Like King Triton knowing about the Keyblade wielders. You know, it never ever goes back to that, and it makes no flippin' sense. But I do definitely have to agree with her on the dual wielding is epic. I kind of wish we just permanently could have dual wielding, but that might make us a little too OP. But it would be great. And the story is epic. I agree with that completely. I especially love the finale of the story. Part of what I was saying with keeping those save files, I still will go back from time to time and replay the final Xemnas battle just because it is, to me, it's one of the best final bosses I've ever played. Shane says he loves the emphasis in this game on the values of friendship and the struggle with identity. The idea that as long as you stay true to yourself and those you care about, anything is possible. I couldn't agree more with that either. I also love the emphasis the game puts on your friendship, especially with the Twilight Town trio, who used to be a quadro? I don't really know what the word for that is. But they used to be 4 of them in the data world, but there's only 3 of them in the real world, but they're still really good friends. And even though he was in the data world, Roxas still remembers them, and they still kind of have vestiges of memories from him. And the game actually just goes beyond the values of friendship and just has the value of the bonds that you create, the bonds that Sora has with all of his companions, everyone that he's ever gone to battle with, like Mushu and Sora, remember him from Kingdom Hearts 1. And yeah, the friendship between Riku, Kairi, and Sora going through each of the different worlds looking for them the whole time, and how just happy he is that he's finally able to find his friends and finally able to get some peace with that. And the last one I have is from Dr. Omega. This was actually on something that I had posted a little bit before, and it was actually the tweet that got me to think, oh hey, I should probably try to do this. So I had talked about how I love Darkness of the Unknown, and I have like 20 different songs saved, 20 different arrangements and variations on it. I love it. And he said that his favorite was the one that plays in Roxas' battle. And you know what? That is a really good song, especially for that part, because as I stated in the win for it, it is very somber, and you're fighting for, it's not really so much fighting for control, but you are sort of fighting for the dominance in your heart, because Roxas is so desperate to be his own person, but he can't because he's a nobody. And the fight is just somber because of that. And then the end, he finally admits that if he had to be trapped in someone's heart, he was glad it was at least Sora. That's going to conclude it for this fan thing. I hope you all liked it, and I kind of hope it's received well. And if that's the case, then I'm going to do it in the next video, which is going to be Birth by Sleep. Thank you for watching, and try not to lose your heart out there.
are supreme.
I feel pretty and witty and gay. Who's that pretty girl in that mirror there?
What mirror where?
Ah!